Looks like we're not the only ones. A green-faced demon with a huge horn in his forehead commented. He looked away from the well that reflected the situation in the human world, looked helplessly at the invisible border that was imprisoning him and his companions for a long time. Whether you know it or not, you have to stay quiet. Lord Konami will get mad and tear us apart. Another demon warned. The green-faced Yukai shivered, looking at Konami with eyes full of fear. But Konami didn't pay attention to that. She was putting all her strength into destroying the barrier surrounding the flying castle. From the moment she felt Dango's demonic aura suddenly disappear, Konami felt like she had lost her mind. She stood in front of the barrier, using all her inherent strength to destroy it. However, the magic net was only slightly scratched. Those traces quickly faded. Everything returned to normal, even more solid than before. The souls of former detectives quietly entered the light-filled path. Higa gradually disappeared. Dango followed him. Hiroshi slowly approached. The light made the fox's body gradually fade. He took another step. The front half of his body almost turned into smoke. Stop it! Kaoru screamed loudly and woke up. The nightmare about the departure of the group of former detectives awakens the rat demon. She quickly got out of bed and rushed out. Under the blood-red sunset, the rat's silhouette gradually grew smaller and then disappeared as the deadly color faded. 4 bodies on the beach caught Kaoru's eye. They had been dead for a long time, their bodies were cold and their blood had stopped flowing. Eyes full of hatred opened wide as if wanting to engrave the image of the person who killed them into their minds. No matter how hard she tried, Kaoru couldn't help them truly rest in peace. She forced a helpless smile and tears just flowed from the corners of her eyes. Now isn't the time to be weak. Someone's voice rang in her ears. Tateyama stepped forward and admitted. This is the second time I have seen Higa die in front of me, and I couldn't do anything. I don't know what misunderstanding you had with Dango and Higa, but you heartbroken like that, I knew I had to do something to help you. Please help me take them back to Niran Temple. What about you? I have to go to Mrs. Yukio's house. Hurry up. If the soul leaves the body for more than 24 hours, it will lose its chance to be revived. Tateyama was half convinced but still reluctant to comply with the request. Under the red sunset, the image of a lone boy trying to carry 4 bodies to the temple a distance from the beach suddenly became small and lonely. No one knew that, only the lonely sound of seabirds rang out from time to time as if to cheer for that resilient person. Their father's death awakens Haruka and Hyan. The children imps sat up, staring at the setting sun but saw nothing there. Hyan wiped his younger sister's tears and pointed towards the door. As for himself, he ran towards the secret room, struggled to open the door and took out the precious medicine bottle. Haruka suddenly exclaimed. The closed door was pushed aside. Mrs. Yukio came in with a cleaning cloth and a bucket of water, and was about to clean up when she saw Hyan pretending to be a stuffed animal sitting on the bookshelf. She lifted up the boy made from plants, smiled softly and commented. My child is really funny. Where can he find a doll just like him to tease me? Then she put Hyan back in his place, looking at the main road behind the glass window. Dusk has ended, the flow of people passing by has thinned out, but her son has not returned home yet. Normally at this time, the demon fox would come home and help her prepare dinner. Why was she waiting so long and seeing nothing but tears? A mother's premonition makes her chest ache. She sighed softly and quietly took the cleaning tools out because she didn't want to lose the rare traces that showed her child had ever existed. Just waiting for that moment, Hyan opened the secret door and pulled out the precious medicine bottle. Haruka quickly opened the window, still kept her eyes on the wooden door that had just closed tightly. Seeing nothing strange, they quickly brought the medicine and ran to find their mother. Sensing the presence of the precious potion, demons and low-level monsters simultaneously attacked the 2 demons. Haruka hugged the medicine bottle and ran away. The low-level monsters quickly chased after her. A stone on the road blocked Haruka's foot, caused Haruka to fall. The medicine bottle flew away and broke. A white smoke rose up, covering a long stretch of road. Haruka, Hyan, come here, I'll show you something. The image of the demon fox taking two identical medicine bottles out of the secret compartment flashed back to her mind. Haruka closed her eyes, as if she saw her father right on this deadly road, unaware that her hands and feet were being melted by toxic smoke. I put 2 bottles of medicine here. One bottle is an elixir of life, has a sweet scent, and the medicinal liquid is also thicker than the other bottle. It belongs to your mother. When I passed away, you two divided it, each keeping a bottle. When you're in danger, break the liquid medicine bottle and quickly leave the scene. Haruka forced a smile, wanting to run, but it's too late. Now her body has melted into water. It gradually shrinks and turns into a tiny seed, gradually sinking into the deadly medicinal liquid. High above, demons and low-level demons also dissolved into mist. Hyan continued to run away with tears. Behind he was another group of low-level demons. No amount of strength could maintain a safe distance. In just a blink of an eye, Hyan was surrounded by them. It hugged the medicine bottle tightly to its body and screamed when it felt the siege tightening. A line of light passed by, swept away the miscellaneous monsters. Hyan opened his eyes and exclaimed happily when he saw Kaoru standing in front of him. Where is Haruka? Aren't you two going together? Kaoru picked up the kid who looked exactly like Hiroshi, wondering. Seeing the child's tearful face, the rat rubbed its head and sighed. Everything was caused by her. She should not have existed in this world for so long. Kaoru hid her last child in her pocket and immediately returned to Niran Temple. Hina and Tateyama was waiting there. The wounds on the bodies were all healed. They looked like they were fast asleep and unaware of the final separation that was about to happen. To bring them back to life, I must perform a secret and important ritual. Can you two go out to cover? Don't let the demons get into this place. But secretly reviving someone without the permission of the dead is a serious crime, you know. If they blame you, then I bear it all. As long as they live, I will do anything. Hurry up, we don't have much time left. Tateyama and Hina reluctantly followed. Kaoru carefully closed the door to the body room and took the medicine bottle and Hyan out of her pocket. Seeing her child's pleading eyes, Kaoru could only force a smile, give him a goodbye kiss, and then used some spiritual energy to make the little goblin unconscious. The rat demon carefully opened the lid of the precious medicine bottle, dripped blood into it, and let the 4 bodies drink the medicine. The bodies of the dead glowed slightly. The wandering souls were called back by the mind and quickly flew into the body. The unusually strong stream of spiritual energy emanating from the tea room stimulated curiosity, causing Tateyama to open the door to look, and someone knocked him unconscious. Hina was also knocked unconscious with the same move. When they woke up, they found themselves lying in a conference room, surrounded by empty wine bottles thrown everywhere. At the main door, Ms. Onko held another bottle of wine and shook it gently, cursing and complaining. You naughty bunch. After drinking all the wine in the temple, you guys borrowed my wine. The drunk people sat up and looked at each other, bewildered and not understanding anything. Hiroshi rubbed his temples, trying to regain some sense after his headache, and asked. I'm sorry, but I don't remember what we drank for. You guys drank to celebrate my son successfully proposing to his girlfriend. The ring is already on, the wine is gone, and you still pretend not to know. If I were your mother, I would punch each of you a few times. Why would anyone get punched to celebrate their wedding day? Tateyama joked. The whole group laughed, including Ms. Onko. But the joy could not overcome the little doubt that arose in Hiroshi's heart. The fox demon still pretended to laugh even though he still felt empty. The fun ended when night fell. The fox demon walked alone on a long, deserted road. The more he think, the more he get unforeseen headaches. The fox chose to give up and go home. Mrs. Yukio's cry and happy hug surprised the fox. The mischievous younger brother let out a reprimand when the late-night reunion scene ended. You are so naughty. You taught me not to hang around, but you went out until late at night. Mom is so worried about you that her eyes are swollen with tears. Sorry Mom, and you. The younger brother winked, deliberately teasing. Or did you invite her to go somewhere and have so much fun that you forgot how to get home? A girl, from the time I left until the time I returned, I was alone. So you two quarreled. You're imagining too much. The fox teased his younger brother and returned to his room. The image of a lonely purple flower among blooming cherry branches catches his eyes, reminding of a distant memories. Someone once gave this flower to him. But when he was going to see that person's face clearly, the memory shattered like a glass that was thrown violently to the ground. The pain blocked and erased all the most important images in the old memory stream. Hiroshi held his head, clenched his teeth, trying to stop the scream of pain from escaping his mouth. He lay down on the bed, tossed and turned for a while, then fell asleep. Dreams of past lives mixed with memories of teammates and then faded away. The emerald eyes flashed with indignation. Clearly someone was playing tricks on his memories. That's why the more he tried to remember, the faster all the data in his head fades. Those images were reflected in the round mirror in Akiko's hand. The rat demon suppressed the pain and forced a smile. Having lost the blood of immortality, she was like a ghost waiting for her thoughts to decline and pass away. Her body gradually became transparent and dissolved into countless light dust particles, flying towards the dark dimensional road. Lord Pluto quietly appeared in a dark corner, neither stepping forward nor speaking. Kaoru turned her head towards the person who had just arrived and forced a smile. Lord Pluto, are you here to arrest me? You don't belong to this world. Forcing you to confess is so meaningless. So you came to see me off. What an honor. Should I call Hiroshi here? You only had 20 more hours left in this state. You really didn't want to see Hiroshi again. This is better. Forgetting is a favor. How can there be such a cruel principle? Akiko placed the mirror to observe the human world in Lord Pluto's hands, and spoke up full of resentment. Hiroshi is not a heartless person. Because you don't want to meet him. Let me call him over. As soon as she finished speaking, Akiko flew out of the tunnel connecting the worlds and rushed to Hiroshi's house. Something from the opposite direction hit her, causing them both to fall to the ground. Akiko was about to reprimand it, but her anger was dissipated by Hyan's adorable face. Seeing the little demon standing up unsteadily, wanting to fly but not having enough strength to fly away, Death caught the little demon and asked in a gentle voice. Where do you want to go? Hyan pointed towards Mrs. Yukio's house, suddenly bursting into tears. In his mind, only the image of his father remains, while the image of his mother has completely faded. It feels the pain of separation but does not understand who was about to leave this life. Knowing that Hyan and he had the same destination, Akiko took it with her and stopped in front of the fox demon's bedroom window. The familiar call forced Hiroshi to postpone work and open the door to welcome his lost child. Seeing that his father was still alive, Hyan fell into his father's arms and cried. He suddenly looked towards the vase of flowers on the desk, intending to say something, but his headache erased the images that had just returned to his mind. Do you still want to meet her? Akiko spoke up. If you want, I will take you away right now. She. You mean who? Kaoru. Akiko angrily emphasized that name again but only saw the bewildered expression of the demon fox. I really don't understand who you want to talk about. Hyan is not feeling well. I have to treat him first. Please excuse me. The window is closed again. Akiko shook her head slightly even though she was still angry at the fox's heartless nature. The goddess of death returned to the dimensional road, hiding the blame in her heart. Kaoru left her seat. The rat demon approached the magical net separating her homeland and the world of the person she loved, touching the mesh with her hand. Unlike demons, the net does not reject a weak soul like her. Her hand passed through the magic net and then retracted. Her eyes filled with sadness suddenly became distant. The rat demon just stood there as if waiting for something very far away. The two hunters guarding the magic net looked at Kaoru with concern. They didn't want to make difficult for a dying soul. But if Kaoru kept leaving the chimpanzee here, she will forever lose her chance to be a human being where she truly belongs. A female hunter stepped forward and tried to open the magic net for Kaoru to choose for herself. Kaoru shook her head slightly and stepped back. Behind the rat demon, the places she passed were igniting red flames. She is struggling with the idea in her mind. Lord Pluto explained. Half of her wanted to leave, but it also wanted to stay, so she couldn't escape. Obviously she wanted to see Hiroshi again. Why did she choose this cruel way? That is the hidden principle of people possessing special abilities in the world she lived in. When they come to a world created by others, they are not allowed to leave any traces, including memories. To get here, she had to trade her life and abilities to survive for a short time and then silently pass away in pain. Lord Pluto sighed softly. Poor her. When it comes to this, we can't help. The female hunter understood, so she closed her magic net and returned to her guard position. Outside on Dimensional Road, it was just dawn and Hiroshi was standing in front of the Ayame restaurant. Faded memories remind of a girl's body lying in a pool of blood, right in this restaurant. It was he who created this barrier to protect that person. But he couldn't remember that person's face. All that can be exchanged for the headaches were a gentle smile and a purple flower. The fox hesitated for a moment then hurried to the company and continued an adult's life.